Hello and welcome after so many shorts promising you video regarding euro currency horoscope and astrology of euro currency. Finally it's here hopefully. So let's see what we have in the horoscope of euro. Come on. Yeah, okay, I will just hide in the corner. So this is what we have in the sky right now. So I marked the most important things that are being played, and you can believe me or not, but there is very many things happening right now in the sky. And the thing is that already this year was quite interesting. The next year seems to be interesting as well, and but we'll talk about next year in a couple of days or weeks probably, because the next video is going to be about the retrograding Saturn that is going to go straight in a couple of days. So we'll cover that in the next video. But in this video, let's focus on euro currency as such. But let's just have a quick look on what's going on in the sky, because this is the most important thing. Yeah. So we have sextile between these two planets. It is not exact at this moment, so I'm marking the exact points that are of interest right now in the sky. And this is Pluto sextiling Neptune and Saturn, and then we have another sextile, so a bisextile we have to Uranus, and together they form this bisextile. So Uranus is supporting Pluto and the other way around with a trine, so that's a harmonious aspect. And then we have two sextiles that are supporting these four planets all together. So that's why these 3 points in the sky are very important. So first degrees of Aquarius, first degree of Aries, and first degree of Gemini, more or less, because this is where the action is happening. But if there is some sort of another interaction here, or if this setup is creating interaction in your natal horoscope or a horoscope of a country or company organization, a very important point would be first degrees of Libra and the late degrees of Virgo. So this is the kite formation that I've spoken about this summer when we had this big Trump-Putin meeting in Alaska. So we had Mars there, and as I said, as these two planets were in retrograde, there was probably rethinking, restructuring, and everything happening behind the scenes going backwards. So I assume that they tried to divide the world like the Spanish and Portuguese did during the great age of discoveries. So this is the construct that we have to have in mind for the time being. And this is another interesting one. It is not as long lasting because it's gonna last just a couple of days, but we have a similar construct when these two planets, Saturn and Neptune, are in conjunction, and they are sextiling Pluto and Venus is supporting Saturn and Neptune with a trine, and Pluto as well. These are harmonious relationships, and they are very strong as well, but they are short lasting because Venus will move out of focus quite soon. But if any other planet gets into this point, it is going to create very strong interaction again. So that would be, I marked it, not in the best way in the world, but first degrees of Sagittarius are important as well. And together, look, another kite in the sky that we have when Jupiter was here. Jupiter is retrograding already, and so this is another interesting point of interest, that late degrees of Cancer and early degrees of Leo. So that's another kite, that's another very strong formation in the sky. And yet we have another one that it is forming as well. So we have Saturn, Neptune in conjunction in Aries, then we have Uranus in first degrees of Gemini, and then Jupiter in the early Leo. And any other interaction, any other planet like Venus or Mercury is going to be in the first degree of Sagittarius. That's another very strong kite formation. Not as long, well, it is quite long lasting because Jupiter is not moving as fast. It's moving retro right now. It will move forward next year, I think. But anyway, so we have 3 kite formations, more or less exact, at this moment in the sky. So from this very point of view, there's lots of energy flowing, and it reacts differently with different people because they have different horoscopes, and with different organizations, and with different countries. So expect lots of stuff happening. It depends on the country or on the person, how it is going to affect their lives. But that's not everything, because we have these 3 kite formations. Automatically we are going to have another formation in the sky. So we are going to have 4 big sextiles that are 1, 2, 3 of them are very powerful. I'm sorry, I have something in my pocket that it is squeaky. I just took it out. So we have 4 sextiles that are supporting each other, and apart from that we have 2 big trines and 2 oppositions. So that this is another structure that adds even more energy to this whole formation. And another thing is that we have this 2 they are called trapezoid formations, forming here from Pluto to Jupiter. That would be this part, and the other one would be this part here. So we have 2 trapezoids in the sky in the same time as well. That's the horoscope for the 29th of November. So technically speaking, December starts this year in November if you are talking about astrology, because there is lots of interaction going on. So if we find all the yachts that are being formed by the sextiles in the horoscope for the whole world, we are getting these points where they are being focused. So all the lilac, mauve, violet points are 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is not very exact and smaller because from Venus, 4 very important points in the sky. And then again, each and every of the blue points is a concentration of a yacht from a trine. So that's another strong influence. All of the red ones, they are oppositions, and they point to the very same early degrees of zodiac sign and late degrees of zodiac sign. And then we have midpoints as well within the sextile between the planets. So as I said in many of my videos, each and every very late zodiac sign and early zodiac sign placements in your horoscopes or horoscopes of your country are going to be affected somehow. So that's why I say there is lots of stuff going on in the sky, and there is highly possible more interesting stuff that will affect the sky quite very soon. But now let's focus on the horoscopes of Euro. But first of all, I have to find it first. We'll have to find the actual horoscope of dollar. And this is because usually something that is changing the world, something that is very unique, powerful, simply governs more energy than other stuff. And this is, I am not 100% sure, I did not do much research, I just found the date of dollar in the internet, and that's it. But the important facts about this horoscope, if it's right, 1792, is that there are superpowers. Dollar has a superpower. One of them is Jupiter Neptune conjunction. The other one is Saturn and Mercury conjunction as well. And this big trine from Uranus and Moon, let's say, these planets here. But there are superpowers in the horoscope of dollar. That's very interesting, because now let's have a quick look at the horoscope of Euro as such. And there are 2, because Euro was launched first of all as as a digital currency only for bank use within the banking sector, and this is this one. And the other one was paper euro that was to be used by general public. And I don't know if you can see it, I will become even smaller. None of these currencies have as maximized powers as the dollar. So I would not expect euro in this shape and form, and as it was launched and a name, to ever be greater in the sense of global use as dollar. It does not govern as much power. Digital euro as such would have a big trine of Neptune, Ascendant and Ceres. Most astrologers wouldn't look at Ceres at all. Ceres and Ascendant, as well as a point that would form a grand trine. So that's number one. And there is no exact conjunction in this currency. So I'm saying again, I do not see euro ever reaching as much potential as US dollar did. And the exchange rate has nothing to do with it. Sometimes, a currency is relatively small, used in a small country with small population, but its value is estimated much higher than the value of dollar. So let's have a look at the progressed horoscope first of euro for the 29th of January 2025, when we had a conjunction of progressed Mercury on Neptune of this digital euro. And this is the moment on the 31st, I think, Mrs. Ursula von Leyen announced that the digital euro or CBDC is going to be worked on and is going to be implemented as soon as they can, and that they are working on it. Okay, so this is important moment for the digital euro because they are planning to do it sooner or later. Now let's move the progressions forward and let's see what sort of interactions are we going to observe sooner or later. And so the first one is a moon return, and that is going to happen in more or less May 2026. 24, 21, 24, 21. Come on. And that's going to be early May 2026. And please remember about this end of April, beginning of May, as far as I remember. We'll check it in a second. So we are going to have progressed moon return. So this is the whole new cycle that is going to happen. But as it happens every 28 years, it is not as important as what is going to happen next. When is it going to aspect the midhaven of euro? That's going to be December 2026. But from the important interactions that I can see is progressed Sun in conjunction with Uranus of euro currency as such, and it is going to happen on Uranus 1057, Sun 1057. 1 second. And it is going to happen in May 2029. From this very transit, I would expect some sort of action, because solar illumination, and that's happening in Aquarius, that Uranus is governing as such, can give boost for innovation and unpredictable events if euro will last till 2029. And soon after that, progressed moon, I'm so sorry, progressed moon here is going to oppose first Neptune shortly before that, and then after that's going to be summer, August 2029, 10:57 if I'm remembering, 10:57. That is going to happen in early September 2029, when we'll have this opposition, and still Sun will be very active close to Uranus of the euro currency. So from progressed point of view, this is the moment that I would expect some I would say prolific action regarding euro. So this is the progressed horoscope. Oh, I'm sorry. So this is the progressed horoscope of digital euro for next couple of years till 2029, let's say. And this is the most interesting part. So I suppose maybe, just maybe, this is more or less the timing where digital euro will be introduced to the world as CBDC or something similar. In what form of shape? I don't know, we'll maybe think about that later. In 2030, this is another possible timing where progressed Sun will join progressed Uranus, and progressed Mercury will conjunct natal Uranus of Euro 11, so that would be 57, come on. So that would be around the 18th December 2030. 2029, 30 possible dates for the launch of digital euro according to the horoscope. Let's have a closer look now on the transits of... Oh, the funny thing is that that's again digital euro. You can see both Sun and Pluto being on the Uranus of digital euro in 2030, but let's go, that can be a launch date. Anyway, let's get back to where we are now. So that would be November 2025, and the interesting thing is that very close to this very first degree of Aries, because that's gonna be 245. That's gonna be 2 degrees away from this big conjunction that is going to happen very soon. But first of all, Uranus is... No, we are going to have the conjunction first. Okay, we are going to have this conjunction first, and that is going to give some sort, let's say, of a cure that is going to dissolve the sickness of euro, and in the same time it is going to give it more limitations and more it will lock it somewhere, the health of euro as such. But then shortly after that, look, Saturn, first of all, so god of time and limitations, and education and discipline will affect all of the partnerships of euro as such. So there can be limits on whether euro is used outside or not, and in a very similar timing, so that would be second, third month of 2026, and other planets will join the same point, affecting partnership of euro. So first of all, I would say some sort of limitations to the euro, and then when Neptune joins this point, that's gonna be together with Mars more or less in April. Again, I'm saying end of April, beginning of May, and then Mercury. So that was 2.45 as far as I remember, 2.48 together with Mercury. Dissolution of partnerships. So first of all, limitation on partnerships, maybe, or where and how euro can be used, and then dissolution and illusion put on the partnerships of euro currency. So that's going to be interesting as well. as timing. And then Uranus in early May, late April, early May, and then again together with first moon. That's the last job of Uranus that's gonna be done in Taurus, so the financial sector as a star sign, as a zodiac sign. And then with Venus, is it going to be Venus or Uranus entering Gemini first? First Venus will affect Ceres, so the goddess of 1,000,000 tiny things that needs to be ordered are going to be affected by the revolutionary Saturn. So from this transit that is going to happen more or less, let's see where the Ceres is, 011. So late April, beginning of late April and beginning of May, that can be revolutions regarding how the euro is managed and created. In the same time, the partnerships, so where, how and with whom euro is being used, there will be lots of illusion and confusion and dissolution of reality in the same time. So that's the end of April and beginning of May. And this is quite important timing because Uranus is going to finish its job in Taurus regarding finances, properties, and sector of whatever we can possess. Yes, whatever sort of goods and properties we can have are going to get revolutionized. This is the last job of Uranus in this star sign. So all of that is going to happen in the same time, yeah, one after another maybe. So as I said before, January, February, and then end of April, beginning of May are going to be interesting for euro currency. So as I just said. Anyway, let's move a bit forward because very important is when the last pass happens. And the last pass of Saturn is going to be the one in the February-March 2026, and last pass of Neptune is probably going to happen in 2027, passing this very point of the horoscope of euro. So the dissolution will be over, but this is just the digital euro that we speak about, yes, 2027. And then again, a big transit that we can expect some sort of an action is going to be happening here, where Pluto will join and conjunct the Uranus of euro. So that is going to be destruction of the old structure in the sector of productivity and creating a new room for a new one. Not the new one, but a room for new one. So you can expect unexpected events regarding euro. This can be the launch of this digital euro as well. Maybe destruction of the old form of euro and creation of the new one. That's gonna be year 2029, 30. And this is what they are actually saying, that they are going to launch it within this time frame. I think it's 2030 or 2035. I don't remember exactly when. Another some sort of action I would expect when Jupiter is going to pass through the ascendant, but it is not going to be as dramatic as the other influences. And I'm just wondering about one more aspect that is going to happen in 2031, where emotions regarding euro may be revolutionized, and they are in the sector of development. So I would expect it to be some sort of maybe unpredicted events with this digital euro. Maybe it will not operate as intended in this very time frame, especially when it is going to pass for the last time together with Saturn and all this stellium on the emotions of euro. So I would expect some interesting situation regarding euro currency in the year 2032. But till then, maybe we'll shoot another video regarding euro currency. So this is the time frame for the digital euro. And now let's have a closer look at the progressed horoscope of the paper of the like physical euro happening right now. So this is here, that's February 2026, and this is when Venus will conjunct Neptune of the real euro currency, of the paper money. And that's going to be happening, as I said, January, February next year are going to be, in my less than humble opinion, extremely important and interesting, especially around the 19th, 20th of February 2026, especially maybe for United States. But before that, we will have a conjunction of emotions of the progressed moon. Oh no, that's already happened in September, more or less, 2025. But that happens every 28 years. Progressed Venus does its job every 300 years, maybe every 400 years, comes to the exact conjunction with Neptune. This is the first time it is going to happen. So I would expect that the sector of productivity of euro, and especially the highest, deepest emotions like unconditional love, and in the same time illusion, delusion, and dissolving of euro, will get extra power and support in, let's say, diplomacy and beauty. So maybe it is going to be the time where the euro as such is going to be graced by 726. Maybe momentarily, for example, people will prefer to have euro than other currencies because of what's of the 10 times that we have. We'll see what is going to happen. So this is one of the dates. That would be around the 15th of February 2026. 20th. That's the 20th of February 2026 as well. This is this big Neptune-Saturn conjunction happening in the first degree of Aries. But it more or less, Venus is going to do this beauty, to disillusion and illusion in the very same timing. Okay, next important aspect that is going to happen is progressed Sun giving flame to this watery Neptune in Aquarius, giving lots of confusion, because when fire and water meets means we'll have fog and steam, and that usually causes confusion and a difficulty in navigation. 726, and that is going to happen in the year 2028. Maybe 726, come on. 726. That's more or less August 2028. 726, yes. August 2028, where we can have this big illusion, and it is in the same time going to be supported by the strict rules of development of this currency. So this is the paper one, but I would strongly suggest that the horoscope of the digital one is better, because first of all, this is the first time euro was introduced to the world as a digital money, and this is just a secondary horoscope of euro. So I would expect that that sooner or later, and that's even better to have a look at the transit horoscope of paper money and currency, because in the year 2027 I marked it. We are going to experience the same because the ascendant is almost the same for both euros. This one is a bit earlier even, so we'll have this big conjunction Neptune-Saturn affecting this point of horoscope, so partnerships, and then we'll have the god of the underworld, of destruction and making room for the new one, affecting Neptune of Euro. That's going to happen in the year 2027. There's going to be a number of passes forward and backwards of Pluto. So that can be interesting time for the paper money. Maybe this is the period when they will start killing the paper euro. So in the year 2027. And then after that, we are going to have this interesting transit of Saturn. I'm going through Saturn of paper euro. And Pluto's job hasn't been done yet. They are going to support each other in this timing, and Neptune is going to support. I said these are the main players, Neptune, Saturn, and Uranus and Pluto. They are supporting each other, so they have immense power. They have lots of power right now. I assume this may be the time where they will focus on digitalizing Euro, if Euro survives so long, because you know, interesting stuff is going to happen in the world. Anyways, already happened. We'll see the shape of Europe as such as well in one of my future videos, hopefully. So this Saturn of transiting Pluto and transiting Uranus and Neptune can kill paper euro, maybe in the year 2027, 2028. But this is what this horoscope says, and as well this digital euro looks interesting. And then again in the year 2032 we'll have a position to natal Mars of transiting Neptune. That can indicate lots of confusion as well with the poor existence of digital euro. So this is more or less the timing that I gave you, and the most interesting part are the days. And let's just go back to year 2026 February, because this is the most important days of our times probably. And yeah, so this big conjunction is going to happen here, and then because the lines of these both horoscopes, because they were created on the 1st of January, one in 1999 and the other one 3 years later in 2002. So because it wasn't 4 years apart, there is a small difference between the ascendants and MCs, because the year is not exactly the same. It's 365 days and 1 quarter, so every 4 years, let's say, the lines at the same time on the same day of the year would be exactly the same, but they are going to get affected. And as you can see, all of them are fixed in the early signs. So ascendant is in the early Libra, the descendant is in the early Aries, midhaven is in the early Cancer, and Imum Celi, the lowest point of the horoscope, the roots are in early Capricorn. So all of these points are going to get affected somehow, and you have to add here Moon in early Leo, and digital euro has the same 4 points in early signs, Ceres and Neptune. So we'll see how it is going to play out, but anyway, it is going to get interesting. I hope that I gave you some insights and dates, and especially I'm saying this spring next year should bring us some answers regarding how the financial sector as such and property sector will look in for the next 80 years, more or less 74 years, when Uranus is going to revolutionize well, when Uranus will finish revolutionizing our finances. So that's it for today. Remember that if you write me a question, it gives me a good direction where to look for if you're interested in global events that are supposed to reveal to ourselves soon. So that's it for today. Have a good day, evening, afternoon, or night, and see you next time. Bye bye.